Hey there, Guardians, welcome back. Fallout here, and today we are examining this beauty, the beloved sniper rifle. Before we get started, I'd like to ask that if you enjoy my content, maybe think about clicking like or subscribe, or both. I know, it probably gets annoying that YouTubers ask that all the time, but it really does help. So if you do, I appreciate it and thank you. Alright, moving right along, the beloved sniper. Our goal is to look at the perks and pick out what we think would be the PvP god roll. This sniper is actually pretty fun in the Crucible and definitely very viable. It's a 90 RPM sniper, so not as incredible as the highly admired rapid fire frame archetype, but it's not the slowest firing archetype either. It's an energy sniper, so good news there. You can pair it with the service revolver, the thorn, or the last word if you're into hand cannons, or maybe the blast furnace or the bygones if you're into pulse rifles. You've got good options is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, you know the drill. We're going to start off over in column 1, barrel mod options. Now, today is going to be a little tricky, whereas with weapons like hand cannons, it's very clear that we want range. Snipers are a little bit of a different breed. There are two things you should always be looking for with your sniper, and those things are range and handling. Range gives you better damage drop-off and can make your shots more accurate, while handling affects ADS speed, hugely important, and weapon swap speed. More on that later, but keep it in mind for now. With everything we've got on the table right now, go ahead and scrap everything that gives you nothing to range. We're really only left with a few options. Small bore and corkscrew rifling are out because even though they do help range, they are outclassed by the other barrels. Extended barrel, well, that's out because even though it does give 10 range, it has the biggest penalty to handling. And now we are left with full bore and hammer forged rifling. Those are both viable barrels that you should be happy with. Hammer forged rifling gives the straight buff to range with no penalty at all, and full bore gives more range but with a -5 to handling.
But Fallout, you just said that handling was important.
I know I said that only a few minutes in and I'm already contradicting myself. I should have gotten into politics, but believe me though, full bore is still high quality. We can make up for the lost handling, which I'll show you later on. Alright, column 2, magazine mods. Take a look at this chart. Good God. It's like the easiest Where's Waldo challenge you've ever seen in your life. Like if Waldo was sitting all by himself in a completely empty room, staring at you with Jeff Goldblum levels of seduction. You want accurized rounds, of course. There's no handling to be gained in column 2, so range is where it's at. I mean, a good reload is solid too, but come on. That's like comparing a hot dog to a steak dinner. Whatever you do, be sure to completely avoid drop mag. Unless you really enjoy wasting your own ammo. Again, stability is cool on pulse rifles and fusion rifles, and to some extent, hand cannons, but snipers, The rate of fire is slow enough that it shouldn't make a difference on your gun at all. Accurized rounds is the pick. End of discussion. Oh, how nice to see it's column 3 with 6 perks to pick for you and me. Right out the gate, let's cut the fat. I don't know about you, but I don't drink the Kool-Aid of perks that benefit you by crouching when you're using a sniper rifle. When I'm sniping, I like to be standing and strafing to make sure I'm harder to hit while I shoot. With that said, firmly planted and field prep are out of here. If you're the type of player that enjoys shooting while being crouched, firmly planted could be what you're looking for, but it ain't for me. Ah, mulligan. Oh, how many arguments I've gotten into over that perk. Look, when it works, mulligan is great. Bullet forgiveness is a really good concept, but only for when it actually comes into play. I went into patrol alone in PvE and stood there in the wilderness like a moron, firing off 50 shots into the air, all for you people. Out of all 50 shots, only 6 of them came back into the mag. 6. Let me ask you, how would you feel about a restaurant if out of every 50 times you went in there, the food you ordered was only good 6 times. How about if you went to work at a job for 50 days, but then they gave you a paycheck for only 6 of the days that you worked there? Hell no! So why are we settling for sniper rifle mediocrity? Also, remember, you don't need bullets refunded to the mag if you never miss shots. You know what I'm talking about. Next, we have Demolitionist. This perk is good if you're running a weird build that focuses heavily on abusing grenades. If that is your game plan, then A, I hate you, and B, go ahead and use that perk. But if not, pass. Finally, we come to both Snapshot and No Distractions. Let's start with No Distractions, which, if you haven't seen, I made a full video on talking about the up and downsides. The link is in the top right corner if you want to check it out. The TLDR version, though, is that while the perk definitely does reduce flinch, keep in mind, I said reduce, not remove, it still has flaws. Mainly, it takes way too long to activate once you've zoomed in, and for most good snipers in PvP, the majority of your kills will actually happen before No Distractions even has a chance to activate. It's a fine perk when it works, but sometimes it's just too slow. For those reasons and more, I'm going with Snapshot. Yeah, the classic, the old reliable. A faster ADS speed is huge for snipers in PvP, almost a mandatory perk, if you ask me. And with that, we move on to column 4. 6 more options here, and what can we throw overboard right away? Here's one, Ambitious Assassin. That's more of a PvE perk. I hardly doubt anyone, no matter how dank a sniper they are, will get very frequent usage out of this perk in PvP. And speaking of PvE perks, let's throw out 4th times the charm. Rapidly landing headshots will return 2 rounds. If you're rapidly landing headshots in PvP with a sniper, something tells me you're probably not thirsty for ammo. It's probably laying all over the floor at your feet. Not that it's a bad perk, I guess, but we want something that'll kick in more frequently and isn't so situational. Box breathing. Now this is normally a PvE perk, but believe it or not, it does have viability in PvP for one specific area, and that's killing supers. It's going to be more beneficial on the aggressive frame snipers due to more damage overall, but with the Beloved, you can still manage to one-shot people out of their supers. But, and that is a big but, keep in mind, not all supers have the same level of damage resistance, and if an enemy Guardian has either a lot of masterworked armor or a really high resilience combined with a really damage resistant super like the Sentinel Titan, they can tank the shot. So it's not a guaranteed super killer, but let's say it does greatly increase the likelihood that you will one-tap that snarky jabroni super harvesting your fellow blueberries. Even if it does help, it's very situational, and I think we can do better. Rampage. Bitch, you thought. Even with the higher stacks of Rampage active, you will not be able to one-shot someone in the body, so this perk means nothing to you in the context of PvP sniping. Easy pass. Finally, we are left with Quick Draw and Moving Target, and here is where things really get complicated. I know, just what you wanted to hear, right? Don't you worry, baby birds, I'll feed you. Let's start with Quick Draw. Despite what the perk says, it also gives you a bonus to your ADS speed, albeit less than what Snapshot gives you. Quick Draw is essentially a very large buff to your handling, so it affects ADS speed, swapping to your weapon, and swapping off of your weapon. All those things are great. Getting your sniper to draw out faster is huge, and so is being able to switch to your kinetic weapon faster. Moving Target, though, is also top tier. Not only do you get a better strafe when ADSing, but you get better target acquisition as well, which is going to make landing headshots even easier. So, which do you want? Well, it depends. The biggest question I hear is, aren't Snapshot and Quick Draw together overkill? Well, define overkill. Take a look here. We have 4 different comparisons: swapping to your sniper, swapping off of your sniper, regular ADS speed, and swapping into immediate ADS speed. The weapon on the left is Snapshot only, and the weapon on the right has both Snapshot and Quick Draw. The Beloved with Snapshot and Quick Draw performs each task faster than just the one with Snapshot, even the ADS related ones. I'll give you this though, it barely beats out snapshot only, so the real question you have to ask yourself is, how much do you value weapon quickness? It might not be often, but there could be times when having both snapshot and quick draw together could save your life in PvP. The extra little difference between swapping into a quickscope or pulling out your backup weapon quicker could be extremely valuable. Or you could be looking at these comparisons and thinking that the extra difference might be too small for you to care. If you want maximum snappiness and you're confident in your ability to both be aggressive with the sniper and land your shots, you want quick draw. If you think the extra difference in handling is negligible and you'd rather have more accurate headshots and a better strafe from longer range, moving target is for you. It's really as simple as that. Two great perks for two different god roles. For the masterwork, again, the age-old question, range or handling. Now that we have two different god roles on the table, it becomes a little easier to pick. If you picked quick draw in column 4, there is zero reason for you to go for a handling masterwork. Check this out. Quick draw is so effective at buffing handling that there's basically no difference between having the range masterwork and having the handling masterwork. And since that is the case, you want range. On the flip side though, if you didn't go for quick draw in column 4 and went with moving target, it's a little bit of a harder question. Handling definitely would help you get back some of that snappiness you lost when you didn't take quick draw. Snapshot still helps you a lot, mainly in the ADSing department, but extra handling could still help with weapon swapping. I'm tempted though to still go with range overall. Here's a clip from my boy Ninja with no L, who learned the hard way that range masterworks really can help you land shots. He has a handling masterwork on that role, by the way. Heartbreaking, isn't it? More like Ninja with no range. I'm sorry. You make the call, but I'm probably gonna go with range. And with that in mind, what is our god roll PvP beloved sniper? Well, we've got two. God roll number 1, this one is easy peasy. Full bore, accurized rounds, snapshot, quick draw, and a range masterwork. All handling penalties are helped out tremendously by quick draw and snapshot, so don't even worry about it. God roll number 2, full bore or hammer forged rifling, accurized rounds, snapshot, moving target, and either a range or handling masterwork, up to you. Although, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably go full bore and range. I mean, this role specializes in accuracy, so you might as well go all out, right? Remember, you can farm this weapon easily in the Menagerie with the following rune combo. Here is the combo both for a handling masterwork and a range masterwork. Get out there, earn those runes, and make me proud. Be sure to follow tradition and tweet me your favorite roles and why you love them. If you don't have Twitter, that's fine. Just let me know down in the comment section how you feel. What do you like about the gun? What don't you like? What's your favorite role, favorite color, favorite pizza topping? Whatever you want to tell me, hit me up down low. Again, please click sub if you think I've earned it, and be sure to follow me on Twitch where I stream every weekend. Check out my other God Roll videos on the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.